Hey everybody. So let's take a little bit of a look at one of our Facebook myths that we're seeing kind of posted around. There is a thinking out there, I guess is the right word, where people are saying the people in your Facebook group, you should go and friend as many of them as you can, because then they're going to see your posts in the group because friends have a higher connection. So let's break that down first of all. First of all, yes, friends have a higher connection, in fact, in what is seen on Facebook in their newsfeed. However, first mistake is if you friend too many people at one time, it's going to trigger a spam effect. Kind of if you go through and you send, copy and paste or however many messages in Messenger, it's going to go, you're spamming. You are not being authentic and you are not creating authentic conversations. It's the same thing with friends. If you go through and friend a bunch of people at one time, Facebook is going to say, hey, now wait a second. You're just trying to make new connections because you're spamming. You're doing something that is not authentic. So that's one thing. So don't ever do that. First of all, it will flag your account. Okay. But let's take a look at this in a little bit different light. So if I'm going to go through and friend all of the people in my Facebook group so that they get notifications, is that truly going to work? Not really. And let's take a look at why. So first of all, I'm going to use just smaller numbers, right? Okay, just so I can do the math quickly in my head. So let's say you have 100 friends. You have 100 friends on your page, on your personal profile, all right? In those 100 friends, each one of them posts 2 status updates a day. That's 200 notifications. That's just on friends. That's 200 notifications. Let's say you're like, ooh, I have 5,000 people in my Facebook group. I'm going to add 100 this week. So that means you are now at 200 friends because you added 100 from your group. Okay? You're not 200 friends. Let's still say people they just do 2 status updates a day. That's now 400 notifications in a day from just friends. But there's another piece we have to add. We now have to add notifications from pages, from groups, from watch lists that you have signed up for to get watch list movies. So even if you're in 10 pages and they post 2 times a day, that's 20 notifications. If you're in 10 groups and they post 2 times a day, that's 20 notifications. Watch lists, let's just say there's 10 that they just post in 10 a day. That's 50 additional notifications here. So we're now at 450 notifications. But what about all the replies? We now then have to take into account the reply to the reply, right? So if somebody has posted something in a group and it's getting all kinds of interaction, every single one of those comments, likes, interaction is another notification for you. Now, let's think back. So let's go back to, let me do it this way here. All right, so let's go and just say we have 1,000 notifications. So between our friends, our groups, our pages, our stories, if you're using the story feature, all of this, so let's say between all of the possible things on Facebook, you're currently getting 1,000 possible notifications a day. Now, keyword here, I said possible. Now, I'm going to make sure we heard me. I said possible notifications, right? So because we have 1,000 possible notifications. Why am I saying possible? Because you're not going to get all of these notifications unless you interact. Remember, the algorithm is a learning machine. It is a learning system. Just like my smartphone, and just like when I type in group, I don't know why this is. I do know why this is because I typed it wrong so many times. So if I'm doing a text message and I'm trying to type or write the word group, it autocorrects to Fritos. Why? Because my fingers have hit it wrong so many times. It thinks, oh, you've hit it wrong so many times, you don't actually want group. You want Fritos. So I have to go back and change it again and tell it don't autocorrect it, even though I've typed it wrong a million times and you think that's what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's a learning machine. It's a learning system. So let's take it back to your notifications. Here in your notifications, if you have 1,000 potential notifications in a day and you interact on 10 of them, Facebook is going to say, okay, these other 990 notifications that you have connections with aren't important to you because you don't ever interact in them. You don't like them. You don't comment on them. You don't share them. You don't do anything with these notifications. But let's say one of these posts, so we now have one, and now we have 989 over here. This one right here, for some reason, it has 1,000 comments. Something over here really sparked people's interest, and it became a highly engaging post. Facebook is now going to say, hey, Corey, I know you typically ignore this notification from this group, but it is getting so much interaction. We think it might be valuable. So we are now going to pop it into your newsfeed. I did not get a notification on that post. This is now in my newsfeed. It is not a notification. Okay? Why? Because your newsfeed and notifications are not the same. Your newsfeed is a running dialogue of the things that you find most valuable. And you find them most valuable because you comment on them, you like them, you share them. It's because you have interacted on those posts in some way. And so it's showing up in your news feed. Now, this post has showed up in my news feed. I'm like, wow, that is super valuable. I comment on it. I like it. And I reply to somebody's because I really am finding it super valuable. This one post is now going to show up in my notifications. If this was a group, the now group notifications, the group posts, the posts from this group are now going to show up in my notifications until it's been a long enough time I don't interact on it anymore. Okay. Does that kind of help you see, first of all, how the Facebook algorithm works and how you get notifications and how you get things in your newsfeed and how it's not just about forming a connection. The more connections you have, the actual fewer posts you see. So, you like my little graphics of my story here? All right, so let's take this down. All All right, so some keys. Here are some keys for you. The more connections you have, the more connections equals less you see. Unless, there is a way to combat that, unless you are super active on your connections. And by active, it's interacting, it's commenting, it's liking, it's sharing. It's being an authentic engager on your connections. Let's take this to your Facebook group. You have a Facebook group and you are posting things. And if you're at Direct Sales Runway, if you are in our training group, you know that we train to link and we train to post as your business page. For many reasons, and there's many reasons that we do that. But one key reason is if you have a post, this is kind of a little of a sidelight here. If you have a post and it's as your business page, so let's say I have a business page and we have Direct Sales Runway and we do a post, you have a question. Where do people click to make that connection? They click on the poster. Whoever is the posting profile is where they click to message. If it is your personal profile, you are forming so many connections that are hurting you. They're unneeded. They're not valuable to you. You are forming so many connections, it's not valuable to you. You want that connection to be on the business page, not your personal profile if you're running the business. All right, so that's a side note. So we have done this post. Another thing is by the fact that they sign up on your business page, and if you have a chat bot, they're automatically a subscriber and you can now connect to them. It's like they signed up for an email. All right, so you have a post. And it's just not getting the traction that you want. Why is that? It could be many reasons. There's not one solid do this and it's fixed, guys. There's not a secret sauce. There is not do this and you'll be a millionaire. It's not do this and it'll be forever perfect. It's not that way. Okay? I really like to continue to relate it back to a workout. When I started with a personal trainer and I started working out, I realized every 4 to 6 weeks, he would change what I do. And it could be something super simple like instead of starting with cardio, we would start with weights and do cardio at the end. Or it could be instead of the circuit that we were doing that day, he reversed the order on the circuit or he mixed up the circuit. Sometimes it was a weight change. Sometimes it was a completely different brand new exercise. Why was he doing that? He was doing that because my muscles have muscle memory. And if you continue to do the exact same thing over time, you're going to plateau. It's the same thing with social media. When you start off and you're like, oh my goodness, this is working, it's working, look at all the interaction I'm getting, oh, it's awesome, and it's flatlined and now it's died. Why? Because this was new. Here, you had the beginning of muscle memory. You didn't have any new interaction. You weren't gaining new muscle. You were just steady going. And here, you stopped seeing progress. Because this muscle had reached its potential with the current weight you were doing. It's not going to get any better. It's going to maintain. It's not going to get any better. Same thing with social media. Only here, it has the potential to not maintain. It's actually going to drop and drop faster because it's not really a muscle. It's a learning machine. So if I have a post and I am getting all kinds of interaction and it is, people are commenting, people are liking, it is getting all kinds of interaction, Facebook is going to say that's a super valuable post. It is an authentic interaction. It's then going to push it. It's going to push it into news feeds of group members. If you have a post on your personal profile, it's going to push it into news feeds of your friends. Okay? When this interaction stops and it plateaus, it's going to then slowly start to decline. And the comments and interaction you're going to get are from the people who regularly check your page, check your group, or from the people who have those notifications turned on and regularly interact. Everybody else that it was just pushed into news feeds and only interacted when it was in a news feed, they're going to die off. They're not going to comment anymore because it's no longer in their news feed. How do we combat that? Here's how you combat that. You want, you know what, I'm going to change this whole thing and do it this way. Okay. You want authentic interaction. How do you get that? You need to do a couple things. In another video, and I would highly recommend you go and watch it, we're going to talk about your social media pillars. And this is going to help you determine what we're talking about here. So if you have not watched that, make sure you watch it. That will help you in this section right here. We are talking about a group, okay? So let me make sure I'm putting that here. We are talking about a Facebook group. In a Facebook group, you need to be consistent. You need to post authentic value. Why should I interact in your group? Why should I look at your post? What is the reason for it? If you're not giving me value, it's not worth my time. I know that sounds harsh, but that's the reality. People are bombarded. Did you look at our little example? They're bombarded with so many notifications and text messages and alerts. They're bombarded. They need value. That value comes from your pillars. Okay? And here's the key, guys. Here is one of the biggest keys. All right, I'm going to say it. Be different. No, how am I going to word this? I'm just going to write it like this. Change it up. You need to change it up. Is that meaning on one post, if you are a business owner who you're doing a giveaway of some kind, maybe it is to qualify for the giveaway, they need to like it or react to it. They need to comment on it. And then they also need to reply to a comment. Because all of that, you just got one person to do 3 activities on one post, and it's going to get that engagement higher and higher and higher, and it's going to push it to more news feeds. But you can't do the same thing all the time. If you get an amazing interaction and it is on, if you have a tell me what's your favorite, do you like this one or this one? Or would you go with this choice or this choice or that choice? Would you... there's so many things you could do, but if you have that kind of post and it just is skyrocketing in engagement, that's great. Don't overuse it. Don't overuse it. And if you are doing selling posts that are not valuable to them, they're not going to get interaction. It doesn't have to be a giveaway. It doesn't have to be something you're giving away for free, but it needs to be authentic. It needs to be valuable to your end user. Okay, so think about this. I want you to take some time and go back through your Facebook group. Are you being authentic? excuse me, are you providing value for your members? Are you providing something that your members want to see? You're not selling a product, guys. You're selling a solution. Whatever your brand is, whatever your product is, you're not selling the product. You're selling value. You're selling a solution. What solutions are you selling, and what value are you adding to your group that makes them want to participate because they find value in what you provide and what you bring to your group? Go through and look at your Facebook posts. Don't request a bunch of friends. If you have, go back and clean up your friends list. Clean up 5 to 10 a week. This doesn't have to be a huge, just clean them up. Kind of start to clean a little house. Do some deep cleaning to get rid of some of those connections that really are bringing you down. Have a great day, everybody. Drop below and tell us, what did you find when you went and looked at your Facebook group? What did you find when you looked at your friends list? Are there things that you need to adjust or change? Let us know. Let everybody else in this group learn from you. Have a great day, everybody.